Final Destination 3 is for me when the series really came into its own and grew an identity. Now this identity is hated by a lot of people. This movie takes the movie away from the serious style of the first two movies and makes it much sillier and over the top. This film is basically a B movie instead of what the first two movies were, and in my opinion they really used the idea to its full potential with this film. In fact, I'd even go as far to say that in my opinion that this is one of the best films in the series. Now we know the story, premonition, someone saves everyone and then they slowly die. This film doesn't break many new boundaries, but it actually does do something different to the previous two movies. This movie is all about Wendy, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Wendy, her boyfriend Jason, her best friend Carrie and Carrie's boyfriend Kevin are at an amusement park for their senior class field trip. Wendy is taking pictures for the yearbook and gets pictures of pretty much everyone. They go on a roller coaster and Wendy has a premonition that it's going to crash. Wendy manages to get off and a few people do too, except for her boyfriend and best friend who end up dying on the roller coaster. Kevin tries to tell Wendy about Flight 180 from the first movie, but she thinks that he's mocking her, until it actually starts happening. What makes this film different is that they find out exactly how everyone is going to die from looking at the pictures that Wendy took. Because of this, they can prevent their own deaths because they can see exactly how they're going to die. This actually makes the film a lot more interesting and exciting too. What I like about this movie is it feels a lot more tense than the previous two movies. They pace the death scenes really well, and every time they trick you with deaths it gets even worse. The death scenes in this movie are ridiculously over the top and silly, but that's what I like about it, and that is really what I think makes the series so memorable. This movie has some of the best deaths in the entire series. They are all really well executed and quite disgusting at times too. Although the CGI effects don't hold up too well, they definitely don't look that bad and are huge improvements over the effects in the first two movies. I like how they blend the CGI effects with the practical effects. They only use CGI when it's absolutely necessary or to enhance certain bits. That's how it should always be used. Sadly, the next film in the series especially relies way too heavily on CGI and it really does ruin it. Probably what I think makes this film much better is the acting. I find it really hard to enjoy a film with bad acting because it completely takes you out of the film. When watching a film, you're supposed to be engrossed and it should have your full attention. But when the acting is bad, I just can't do that. The first two movies did not have good acting at all, but this film actually does have good acting, especially from Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Is this film perfect? Definitely not, but it's a hell of a lot of fun, and I've always really enjoyed it much more than most of the others in the series. Remember, I said most, not all. I give Final Destination 3 an 8 out of 10.